Hey there, America lovers and haters. Whether you're waving the flag or burning it, this one's for you. Let's talk about a guy named Noam Chomsky and his book, America's Quest for Global Supremacy. If you haven't heard of him, Chomsky is a renowned linguist, philosopher, and social critic. He's been shaking up the intellectual world for decades now. Chomsky's not here to win any popularity contests. He's not interested in sugarcoating the truth or making friends in high places. He's here to shake you awake with a big steaming cup of reality. Imagine waking up from a deep sleep to the smell of strong coffee. That's what Chomsky's work does to your mind. His big question? Why does America always have to be the loudest, strongest kid on the block? Why do we feel the need to flex our muscles on the global stage? Is it in our DNA, or are we just compensating for something? Are we driven by some deep-seated insecurity or a historical need to prove ourselves? You see, America has this thing. It's a complex, almost pathological need to be the best, the brightest, the most powerful. It's like an itch we can't scratch, a drive to be the top dog, the big cheese, the world's reigning superpower. This isn't just about pride. It's about control, influence, and dominance. Chomsky dives deep into this obsession, and trust me, it's a wild ride. He dissects the American psyche, exploring how our history, politics, and culture feed into this relentless pursuit of supremacy. He argues that this desire for global domination, this need to call all the shots, is at the very core of American foreign policy. It's not just a side effect, it's the main event. And it's not just some harmless hobby, folks. This isn't like collecting stamps or building model airplanes. This quest for supremacy has real-world consequences. We're talking wars, we're talking coups, we're talking about lives being turned upside down. We're talking messing around in other countries' business like it's our own personal sandbox. This isn't just theoretical, it's happening right now, all around the world. Chomsky doesn't hold back, and neither will I. We're going to dig into the nitty-gritty, the uncomfortable truths that most people would rather ignore. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to break down America's obsession with being number one. It's going to be a roller coaster ride through history, politics, and the very soul of a nation. Now, this book isn't exactly hot off the presses. America's Quest for Global Supremacy came out in 2003, right in the thick of the post-9/11 world. Remember those days? We were all hopped up on patriotism and fear, ready to invade any country that looked at us sideways. Chomsky, ever the voice of reason, or dissent depending on who you ask, dropped this book right into the heart of that madness. He was like that one friend at a party who keeps telling you to slow down on the tequila shots. You know, the friend nobody wants to listen to, but who's probably right. See, Chomsky argues that America's quest for global domination didn't just start with the war on terror. Oh no, this goes way back, deep into our history. He traces it back to our founding fathers, our expansion across the West, our whole manifest destiny thing. Basically, he says this need to be the boss is baked into our national DNA. So how does America do it? How does a nation, once a collection of disparate colonies, rise to become a global superpower, a beacon of democracy and a force to be reckoned with on the world stage? How do we go from a ragtag bunch of colonies to the self-proclaimed leaders of the free world? The journey wasn't easy, and it certainly wasn't straightforward. It involved wars, revolutions, and a relentless pursuit of power and influence. Well, according to Chomsky, it boils down to two things: money and muscle. These two pillars have been the bedrock of America's strategy to assert its dominance and shape the global order in its favor. First, there's the economic muscle. The United States has built an economic system that not only supports its own growth, but also exerts influence over other nations. Wall Street, the stock market, and the American dollar are all tools in this grand strategy. We're talking about controlling global trade, making sure the American dollar stays on top, and using our economic clout to influence, read bully, other countries into doing what we want. This isn't just about wealth, it's about power and control on a global scale. Think of it like being the richest kid in school, except instead of just buying all the best snacks, we're dictating who gets to sit at the cool kids' table. The economic policies and trade agreements we push for often come with strings attached, ensuring that other nations align with our interests. Then there's the military muscle. The United States has one of the most powerful and technologically advanced militaries in the world. This isn't just for defense, it's a tool for projecting power and influence. Ah yes, the good old-fashioned show of force. From the vast array of military bases around the world to the cutting-edge technology in our arsenal, the US military is a formidable presence. Chomsky argues that America uses its military might, its aircraft carriers, its drones, its sheer firepower, to intimidate other countries and maintain its dominance. This isn't just about winning wars. It's about sending a message that the US is a force to be reckoned with. It's like that scene in every high school movie where the biggest dude in school walks down the hallway and everyone just gets out of his way. The combination of economic and military power ensures that America remains at the top, bending the world to its will. Section 4, From Saigon to Baghdad, a world tour of American intervention. This section delves into the intricate web of American foreign policy, tracing its footprints across the globe. From the dense jungles of Vietnam to the arid deserts of Iraq, the United States has left an indelible mark on the world stage. Now let's get specific, shall we? It's one thing to talk about intervention in broad strokes, but the devil is in the details. Each intervention has its own story, its own set of justifications, and its own consequences. Chomsky doesn't just talk about America's quest for global supremacy in some vague, abstract way. He meticulously documents each instance, providing a comprehensive analysis that leaves little room for doubt. His work serves as a crucial resource for understanding the true nature of American foreign policy. He lays out a whole rap sheet of examples, highlighting key US interventions in Latin America, the Middle East, and Asia. We're talking about Vietnam, where the US engaged in a protracted conflict that lasted nearly 2 decades. The war not only devastated Vietnam, but also left deep scars on American society. In Vietnam, we poured billions of dollars and thousands of lives into a war we couldn't win. The conflict was marked by brutal combat, widespread destruction, and significant loss of life on both sides. The war's legacy continues to haunt both nations to this day. Then there's Iraq, where we invaded based on flimsy evidence of weapons of mass destruction. Spoiler alert, there weren't any. The invasion led to a prolonged occupation, widespread instability, and a humanitarian crisis that still affects the region. And let's not forget about all those covert operations in Latin America, where we supported dictators and overthrew democratically elected leaders. These actions were often justified under the guise of fighting communism. But the real motives were far more complex. In Latin America, the US played a significant role in shaping the political landscape. We backed military coups, supported authoritarian regimes, and intervened in the internal affairs of sovereign nations, all in the name of protecting our interests, all in the name of fighting communism, or, protecting our economic interests. These interventions often led to long-term instability, economic hardship, and human rights abuses in the affected countries. Chomsky argues that these interventions, these displays of American power, are not about spreading democracy or liberating oppressed people. Instead, they serve to maintain a global order that benefits the United States and its allies. These displays of American power are carefully calculated moves designed to project strength and deter potential challenges. They send a clear message to the world: the United States is willing to use force to protect its interests. These actions are not about spreading democracy or liberating oppressed people. They are about maintaining a global hierarchy where the US sits at the top, dictating terms and shaping the world order to its advantage. No, they're about maintaining US hegemony, ensuring that no other country gets too big for its britches and challenges our position at the top. This strategy has been a cornerstone of American foreign policy for decades. Ensuring that no other country gets too big for its britches and challenges our position at the top. This involves not just military interventions, but also economic policies, diplomatic maneuvers, and strategic alliances, and challenges our position at the top. The goal is clear: to maintain American dominance in a complex and ever-changing world. This is the essence of Chomsky's critique, a sobering reminder of the realities of global power dynamics. Section 5. Freedom for me, but not for thee, America's double standard on full display. Here's the thing about America's quest for global supremacy. It's riddled with hypocrisy. We talk a big game about freedom and democracy, but Chomsky argues that we're all too happy to throw those principles out the window when they get in the way of our interests. We'll condemn human rights abuses in countries we don't like while turning a blind eye to the same abuses committed by our allies. especially if those allies happen to have oil or buy lots of American weapons. We'll lecture other countries about the importance of international law, then turn around and invade a sovereign nation because we feel like it. Chomsky argues that this double standard is at the heart of American foreign policy. It's a do as I say, not as I do approach to global affairs, and it's not a good look. Section 6, don't just sit there. Chomsky's call to arms. The thinking kind. Now, you might be thinking, John, this is all very depressing. Are you telling me there's no hope, that we're all doomed to live in a world dominated by America's insatiable thirst for power? Well, hold your horses, because Chomsky's not all doom and gloom. He believes in the power of informed citizens to demand change. He argues that it's up to everyday people like you and me to educate ourselves about what our government is doing in our name. We need to read beyond the headlines, question the official narratives, and hold our leaders accountable for their actions. Chomsky believes that when enough people wake up and realize the true costs of America's quest for global supremacy, the wars, the instability, the erosion of our own democracy, then and only then can we start to chart a different course.